make your own experiences and document them. Usually like writing down stuff like how much fertilizer did I give? Did my plant look well? Next grow, compared to this, I changed something up. Did I get more result or less result? Basically do your own research essentially, like make your own experiences. Because it's the same thing in growing as it's always been in like pretty much anything else.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm sitting here with Max from Growberg. We're here to record our first podcast in this series. And Max, I'm really happy to have you here. Could you tell the people that don't know you yet, maybe something a bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me.
Of course.
My name is Max. I work at Growberg. That is a grow shop, an online shop. Basically, for the past 2 years, we've been mostly focusing on online sales. So yeah, it's a grow shop in Germany, focusing on German sales. And yeah, we built up a little community with our YouTube channel and have the shop to basically keep us going and keep us alive, make some money.
And how did you ever end up at Growberg?
Yeah, that's a really interesting story because we're gonna get into that later as well. Like, I don't really have any connection to the scene, to cannabis itself, because I started, or Marcel basically started Growberg, the shop, and he's really into the business. He grows himself, he consumes, and I know Marcel privately because as a friend, because we played table tennis at the same club for like a couple of years, like I don't know, 4 years maybe. So back then I was still studying at university, studying business economics, business administration, I think is the correct word in English. And yeah, at the time I was looking for like a job to make some money on the side next to uni because I was moving out to go to uni and needed a job on the side. And Marcel offered me basically to do some of the tedious work for him. Like I started by describing or writing the product descriptions of 1,000 articles that he had in his shop. So that was the first contact I had with like basically every single product. Like I remember describing multiple companies worth of fertilizer, multiple companies worth of lights, multiple companies worth of fans and stuff.
Exhaust, ventilation.
Ventilation, thank you. And that's how I got into the scene, and somehow I just never left. And that's been 4 years ago, so I started in October 2021. And now I'm still here somehow. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's how I got into the scene.
Somehow, yeah. Okay. And working in the shop, have you noticed, because you were there in 2021, is that when the legalization happened? Or was it?
No, the legalization happened 2024.
24, really? And my mind is 23, but I'm also not too sure anymore. You're the German, so I'm blaming you for not doing it.
It's definitely been a while ago. I think we closed the physical store in 2023, and the legalization happened in April 2024. But that could also be.
So you were working in the physical store when cannabis was still and growing was still illegal, and now you've been through the change of it going legal.
Yes.
Have you noticed a big change there in the customers that you see and the questions that you get?
Yes, definitely. Like the questions that we get changed. So the things with the customers that I see is that I've never worked in a physical store when cannabis was legal in Germany. Just the timelines are a bit unfortunate because we made the decision to close the physical store at some point because we compared the numbers and we were like, okay, we make 90% of our sales online and 10% in the store, and yet we sit 70% of the time we sit in the physical store to work from there, which we just would not it's not feasible. It doesn't make sense.
Not commercially viable anymore.
Exactly.
To make sense.
Maybe it's also the locality that we had because we were in a small town in Grünberg in Germany. It's a small town. I think the average age there might be 60.
It's a really growers there.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really nice village, but I think it's just the parameters weren't
Seems
right.
like it was the perfect place to buy some products discreetly, though. Nobody ever looks.
I mean, I guess,
not,
but I mean, on the other hand, I don't think you needed that much of discretion.
Sure.
Because in the next biggest town to us was Gießen, which is a town with 2 universities. So there's a lot of young people studying there. and especially like when the terms are, like when there's actual studying happening, because in Germany we have like 4 months ish of actual studying happening, and then there's like 2 months of break, and then there's another 4 months, like the terms, I think it's called.
Uh-huh.
So like
Semesters, I
for
think,
those
terms,
semesters,
same,
yeah.
Same.
So these 8 months ish, where there's actually like a lot of students there, it's like 100,000 people living there with the average age of 20. So if you wanted a physical store that really popped off in this kind of scene, you would have just done it in Gießen. But
Fair
we
enough.
went to Grünberg, or Marcel went to Grünberg. That was a decision made before me, which is a fine decision because it's really calm and you don't have like, because physical stores are really, really stressful as well. Especially if you're like 2 or 3 people and then there's 7 customers and then you're on the clock. You can't talk to anyone like much because you know like every second I talk to you, that guy could leave the door.
Yeah.
So
No, I have to say, I worked in a grow shop myself in the Netherlands for 4 years, and to a certain degree, people also accept that it goes like that. I've had I have many memories of just customers being in there and having a long talk, and just people are also interested to hear what you're saying, what you're talking about with this customer, maybe pick up something from that themselves. But yeah, to some degree, it's also, I don't know if it's with you here in the grow shops in Germany as well, but like there was always coffee around. If people wanted to smoke a cigarette or something, they were free to smoke a cigarette and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was kind of in a way, a chill area also, which wasn't always very conductive to get work done. That's something I recognize a lot too. But is that how it went in the physical store with you guys as well, or is that less a thing?
I think that's a lesser thing, mostly because we always had the possibility to have like a one-on-one conversation with every single customer that comes in, because it was very, very rare occasions where we had more than 2 customers in there. So
enough.
one of them goes to Marcel, the other one goes to me. We have 2 people talking, and then they leave. It's fine. So there's never like, there's always a talk of us selling the product that they want to them or anything, or they talking to us. But the problem that we faced at some point is that it's still our job, and the amount of time that we spend with a customer is great, and it's really fun to talk to people about like their passion or our passion as well. But it needs to also pay our bills, if that makes sense. Because
and there's
still
a lot of other
job.
work to do too, probably. Yeah.
Exactly, and every minute that we talk to a customer is a minute that we can't spend like doing new marketing stuff or figuring out a way how to grow our online shop or how to grow our sales and stuff. And then it's really tough, and I feel really bad to the people that I have to say this and stuff. But it's a difficult decision to make, to say, okay, we have to close the store because we cannot spend the time of somebody coming to us, talking to us for 2 hours about their passion and about our passion. It's a great talk, but we need to make money.
Of course, you're a
At some
small
point.
operation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're a small shop. We're trying to get every amount of money that we can because we have to pay our bills. We have 2 people that have to live of it. And at some point we decided, okay, the time it's better spent online with our YouTube channel, with getting new customers in, having them buy in our online shop where we have automatic processes. So somebody orders at our shop, it's automatically within our system, and then automatically the people packaging like the packets get the information to pack it and stuff. It's all automized. It's a lot more efficient to spend our time there in terms of paying our bills, in terms of getting money in, because that's it's a difficult question that you have to deal with if you make this kind of business operation. And unfortunately, you even had to make the decision to focus on, okay, we need money because otherwise this whole project is going down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and then the money is more in the online business for you guys, so that's where the shift went then.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes
and
sense.
That might just be a problem with us choosing a store in Grünberg, which is a great office because it's really calm. The post, like the package delivery guys, you know them all by name. And you can, here's my phone number. If there's a package and we're not there, just put it there and stuff. So you know everything. And that's great in optimizing our workflow. But it might have been a bad decision in terms of we want the maximum amount of people in our store.
Yeah. I can dig it. Okay. So then if you haven't really been able to see that shift in customers since you guys went from physical to more online focus, did you see a shift in the products that people were buying in the time that you were working there?
Well, especially with legalization coming, I think it was already like known in February. So because the legalization is April 1st of some year. I think it's 2024.
Yeah.
Because we have 2025, right? So
Yeah.
numbers are weird. So especially like the months leading up to legalization, a lot of people bought equipment to grow at home, because that was the specific point, the specific target of the legalization in Germany is that the people at home are allowed to have 3 plants, they can grow themselves,
Yeah.
so they need equipment. So we had a lot of, especially in that time, we had a lot of people buying the equipment up to the point where we couldn't deliver anymore because we didn't have like any stock.
Heard that a lot.
But otherwise, since then, especially the people that were growing cannabis specifically, I don't think it has changed that much with the legalization.
Fair enough.
We of course have like a lot more new customers, which we then guided to. Okay, if you're new to the scene, let's start with something simple. So like just 3 easy pots with some basic organic fertilizer, because I usually, like, our recommendation to beginners is start with organic fertilizer. It's a lot easier. You can't make so many mistakes.
Yeah, more difficult to up.
More difficult to mess up, exactly. And then also you don't have to like measure pH, EC, because depending on which fertilizer you use, you have to do it. So it's just a bit more complicated. But of course, mineralic fertilizer has the chance or the opportunity to get a lot more out of it, like a lot more results out of it. But so we kind of guided our new customers, like the new people coming in, basically to organic fertilizer. So I guess that's a change that actually happened, because back then it was, before the legalization, it was roughly 50-50 between people doing it at home, like I have a pot in my room, like a plant in my room, and I tell my mom it's like something different. These kind of guys, they all use organic fertilizers. And then you have the other people that like do it on a high level because they've done it for 20 years, and they usually tend to mineralic fertilizer or to even in terms of lights, we had like the new people, they bought LED lights because we actively guided them to it, and we were of the opinion, and we still are of the opinion, that the LED lights are the new, like, are the now primary thing. And some of the, I've been doing it this way for 20 years, type growers, they still use like the other ones, the light bulbs, which I only know the German
HPS,
word.
the
HPS.
high pressure sodium or metal
Exactly,
halides.
yeah, those ones. Because I've done it like this for 20 years, and for them it's fine. And I mean, for us it's fine as well, like we don't mind, but...
Do you know what their objections are to switching to LED from HPS, like those legacy growers? What keeps them more in the HPS? Is it just because that's what they know, or do you feel like there's something else going on there?
I think it's multiple things. Depending on the size of their grow, I think it's super expensive. Like if you have a huge area where you grow plants and you need like, I don't know, 15 square meters or anything, and then you have to buy LED lights for that, like that's multiples of thousands of euros of investment. So maybe that's like one thing keeping them from changing. The other one is like, I've been doing it like this for 20 years and I don't feel like changing. I'm happy with doing it. That's also like completely fair. Like you don't have to change to the new cutting edge technology just because it's the newest thing. You can grow however makes you happy. And maybe there's some people that are dependent on the HPS and stuff because of climate reasons. For example, especially in winter, if you grow in a cold room and then you have like, at least you have your lights that create some form of heat and the LEDs are quite more efficient, then maybe you have like some temperature problems. I think that's the smallest group by far, but technically it exists. I think the biggest reason for the bigger growers, like for the professional, I'm going to call them, like the experienced growers, is the high price of getting into LED if you do it on a bigger scale than a square meter. Because for a square meter, you can still get like a decent lamp for, I don't know where they start, like $200 is probably an entry price where you can, at the lower end, that's still decent. And if you take like a very high quality, expensive lamp, then, or LED lamp, then you'll, I don't know, where you cap out like 800 maybe.
Easy,
That's like the highest amount you can spend, at least for me, feasible, the highest amount of money you can spend on 1 square meter of light. It's still a lot of money, but I mean, it's only 800 compared to like 20,000.
Times 15, then it becomes
Exactly.
a big multiple indeed, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that might be the reasons.
Yeah, fair enough. What I've also noticed from my time in the grow shop, which is already actually like more than 5 years ago, but I saw a lot of growers try out LEDs, and that was in an early stage when the LEDs weren't as advanced as they are, because they are advancing very quickly also. In the early stages, they gave it a try, then they invest a lot of money, like you say, indeed, and then find out that the results are not really what they expected, partially because they might have had some issues with the climate just not being hot enough and not really knowing that they need to make that change, because that's also knowledge that became more known at later stages, I guess. But yeah, I feel like that was also a substantial thing, that just trying it out, being disappointed, and then thinking, okay, LED is not for me, I'll keep it with my HPSs. But I do also have to say that the best results and the people that I heard most enthusiastic are people that combine LEDs with HPS. So you kind of get the best from both worlds in a way.
Yeah,
okay. Well, multiple ways that lead to Rome, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's, because to some degree it makes sense to me. Like there's some different plant effects that you have if you have different spectrums shining on your plant. I've never actually, of course, I never tried it myself because I don't grow. I think we'll get to that later on. I don't grow myself. And I didn't hear from someone from their personal experience. Like I just didn't talk to anyone who tried this to have like both LED and usually what we do, just to be safe, to be honest, is like if we give someone the advice and they ask us, okay, what should I do to my grow? Then I was like, okay, there's one light because it's simple and easy. And as long as you don't know what exactly is going on there, and you have, because there's multiple of challenges that you have to overcome if you want to grow. There's humidity, there's light intensity, there's fertilization, there's amount of water and stuff. There's so many things that the grower itself has to worry about. That I'm like, keep factors simple. You have one light, you have one fan for like airflow and stuff. You have one the filter that against the smell is a carbon filter. Thank you. So just keep things simple, and that's why we probably never had like someone talk to us that had different, like both LED and HPS at the same time.
Fair enough, yeah.
But it's an interesting experiment.
Yeah, you say keep it simple. That is actually I would say my favorite tip always been for growers, new growers, but also old growers. I feel like the best growers, that's the guys that I always hear from. Keep it simple. Do you have any other tips that you like to give to growers when they ask you for advice? Any common things, or maybe some common mistakes or misconceptions that you came across in your work that you that I remind you of with this question, basically?
So basically, to anyone who's really new, I usually try to tell them that don't worry too much, because most of the time, someone who's like really worried about the plant and just starting out, and then the plant is like the leaves are hanging down a bit, like the plant looks a bit weak and stuff.
Overanalyzing to the max.
Overanalyzing everything, exactly, and then they give it they water the plant again with some more fertilizer, and it's maybe the wrong thing because there was too much water in the pot and stuff, and that's why the plant couldn't take up nutrients and stuff. So it's like at the very beginning, I feel like people tend to worry too much and to overanalyze everything. So, which is, everybody makes mistakes, and
of course, and you have your buddies around you, and that one gives you that tip. Oh, before you harvest, you need to water with ice water. Then you have more cannabinoids and this, and it's like all of these little things that maybe they add something indeed, really, but in the basis, keep it at the basics, master those, and then you can start try to fine tune it, right? Instead of trying to go perfect immediately go all out with all of the crazy things that you can think of.
Yeah, exactly. And like then the second tip, I like after that I give the people, and especially like people that have done it like a couple of times, like they've already done a couple of grows, and then they ask like, I don't know, like what should I do, or like I'm having problems and blah, or I'm switching to a new fertilizer. It's like, make your own experiences and document them.
And document them, yeah.
Document them or like if you can memorize them, then sure, go ahead and memorize them. But usually like writing down stuff like how much fertilizer did I give?
Yeah.
Did my plant
Yeah,
look
for
well?
sure.
Next grow, compared to this, I changed something up. Did I get more result or less result?
Yeah.
So like basically do your own research essentially, like make your own experiences. Because it's the same thing in growing as it's always been in like pretty much anything else. And as you said, you have like your buddies, your friends. That's one guy says do this and that, and the other guy says nah, you gotta cut away the leaves, and the next one says do a lollipop and blah.
Yeah.
Bring yourself back to school, and you're in mathematics class, and there's like a topic that you fully did not understand, and then you ask the guy that's really good at maths, and asking, can you explain this to me? And then because he's never had the experience of like, how do I need to explain this? So I, as a stupid guy who doesn't understand it, I don't know
like
how
Chinese what you're hearing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know how to explain it to you. So he gives you the tip on like, this is step 17 and you're stuck on step 2.
Yeah.
So it's like, and this is happening all the time in literally everything. Like everybody, if they don't like, I'm sure they don't mean it as like a bad, in a bad taste or anything. They're just really trying to help you. They're just, I as well, like I'm lacking the understanding of what I need to tell you so you understand it.
Yeah,
because
you don't know exactly where they're at also, right?
Exactly, like I can't know what your point of knowledge is, or you
Yep.
can't understand what my point of knowledge is,
Yeah,
unless we really figure that out together. So like, don't focus too much on what other people tell you. Try to make your own experiences. Because you might have a different plant, a different genetic than the other guy. So that genetic from the other guy that's your friend, and he tells you, I do a lollipop and it really helps. Your plant just might not be the right one for this because there's another difference in there. Then he has 23 degrees, you have 27. It's another factor that changes everything.
Yeah, man. So many variables indeed. It's very hard.
So it's like, try to control your variable, or like at least document your variables. And because then you can look at the two grows that you had, and one is good and the other one's bad, and you see, okay, this one was 27 degrees and this one was 70% humidity, and this one wasn't. So you have like 2 points of information. Then you have a third grow that works really well, and that was also the same temperature and humidity as the one that worked. So you know, okay, temperature and humidity might have been the problem. And the other guy told you do a lollipop. It's like, so yeah, try to, I think that's also the tip that I want to give everyone. Make your own experiences and optimize your grow to the degree or to the point where you want to have it. It's not about like how to get the most out of it. It's not about how to get the best taste. It's about how you as a grower are happy.
Yeah.
And if you're fine with doing 30 minutes of work twice a week, and you have some form of result and you like the taste and it's fine and it's all cool, then that's perfect for you. And the other guy might want to get into like real automation because he's really into it. He really likes it and he wants to automate it and optimize it and everything. That's fine for him as well. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Just like, don't try to convince the others, or don't let yourself be convinced by others that have a different point of view or different standpoint. Just figure out what makes you happy, and if it's easy, basic grow, organic fertilizer twice a week, I look at my plants and sometimes I pull the light up a bit because the plant has grown. That's great.
Yeah.
If you get a result out of it, that's fine.
Easy does it.
Exactly.
So let's take a jump from there to nutrients. Do you feel like there's any nutrients out there that are underestimated by growers, that like a lot of growers would get serious benefit from using, that they're not using now?
Yeah, I think so. Especially again in the very, very beginner phase of growers. Because I think, I mean, you're going to figure it out as soon as I start talking about the product. So the product I'm thinking about is bud boosters, which is interesting because everybody knows about bud boosters. But the funny thing is, I think there's a huge amount of people that are not that deep into growing cannabis enough to even know about bud boosters. Because like all the people listening to this video and all the people that actively like know Plagron as a brand, as a name, or different brands, or they know when the Canna Fair is or where it is or stuff like this, all these people are already more invested in the scene than what I'm thinking is the biggest amount of people, like the most people. So there's a lot of people that just have like 1 or 2 plants somewhere on their balcony that gives them 20 grams every couple, and then there's a huge amount of people, I believe, that are like very, very casually focusing on growing cannabis, and they do not know about bud boosters. They do not know basically anything about fertilizer. They have maybe a friend who had a friend who had a friend who says, I use this kind of fertilizer, so they tried it as well. And yeah, so especially the people at the very beginning, where unfortunately there might be a very rare amount of people actually listening to it, but they are so far off the topic that I don't even know about bud boosters. And I think bud boosters make a huge difference in your grow, especially if you get like a good one, without like wanting to praise Plagron like too much here, because I don't want to make it like a I don't want to make it like a full advertisement podcast. But like I think Green Sensation is by far the best one. It's also very expensive, that is true, but it's by far the best bud booster, and it makes a huge difference both in quality and in amount that you get out of your grow.
Yeah, the yield.
In your yield, exactly. And yeah, so I think anybody who's not using a bud booster yet should really get into using at least one, like some bud booster. And if I'm allowed to give a recommendation, then try Green Sensation, even though it's very expensive. It's also like high concentration, so you don't need much of it. But it's a great product, and it makes a huge difference. Like the biggest difference out of, I'd say, all of the fertilizer. There's a huge difference between using just basic fertilizer and using basic fertilizer and exclusively a bud booster.
Yeah.
That'll
get you very far.
It's one more bottle, like one more type of fertilizer, and it's a huge difference. And I think a lot of people underestimate the change a bud booster can make.
Fair enough, yeah. So how about, now we talked about products, about nutrients. Do you feel like any part of the cycle of growing cannabis, like there's anything that's underestimated when it comes to that?
Mm-hmm.
Or that people think too lightly of, too simple of?
That's a very good question. I don't think there's anything that I believe genuinely people are underestimating, but I think there's something that people are overestimating, if I can change the topic here.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, the thing I think most people overestimate is humidity, in terms of like, I mean, if you enjoy it, if you enjoy really focusing, again, like do whatever you enjoy. If you enjoy doing it, then don't let me say that's bad or that's not good or anything. Do whatever you like.
Mm-hmm.
But I see people focusing too much on humidity, and by that messing up other factors of their grow.
Mm-hmm.
And because the way I think about humidity, both from like not my personal experience, but at least people that I'm close to, and the way they grow, humidity, as long as it doesn't start molding, like start create like little mold particle, mold on your plants or in your buds or anything.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no mold, then you basically done the most important thing about controlling humidity. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can get more out of it, and yes, you might maybe increase the quality as well, but only if you've managed to control the humidity in the way you want without changing the other factors. And if you put like a dehumidifier or anything in your tent, and that creates a lot of heat because it's just a machine, maybe it's like 20 years old, so it's not that efficient, and then it uses like, I don't know, 500 watts of your energy. Maybe 500 is an overestimate, but like it uses huge amounts of energy, so it's expensive. Mm-hmm. And it also creates heat and puts it into your system. Mm-hmm. Heat that you maybe don't want in there. Just because you want it, instead of having 55% humidity, you want it to have 50. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's worth it. So I think in terms of humidity, if you don't struggle too much with it, just especially if you're having issues with it, if you have problems with it.
So would you say that over focus on humidity is people trying to optimize their VPD, or is there something else going on there as well?
I mean, basically that plays into it. Yeah, I think a lot of people trying to control their humidity also don't know or don't understand what VPD is. Again, because a lot of people grow casually, a lot more than we may believe, because we are like really deep into the scene. And all the people we talk to at Canafair, the people that come to Canafair are really, really enthusiastic growers. That's why they actually come to Canafair.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes we lose touch with reality, sounds like really, but like we lose an understanding for what the average grower maybe is. Mm-hmm. And the average grower might read in some forum or from their friend, yeah, okay, so in the growing stage, you have like 60 to 70% humidity, and in the flowering phase, somewhere 40 to 50, 40 to 60.
Yeah. Not
So-
even they don't even know about VPD yet. It's just like this. They saw these numbers, and this is what they're going for.
And then
yeah.
there's a rough estimate. I'm going to try to reach these kind of numbers.
Yeah.
And don't focus too much, because even then, between 40 and 60, it's a huge range. You don't have to optimize within that range. If you're somewhere within that range and
Yeah.
there's no mold no mold on your plants, that's fine. Then focus on other factors, because then it's a huge effort to optimize your humidity.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, just for maybe a difference of, I don't know, maybe 10%, maybe 20% in yield.
While causing an imbalance somewhere else potentially.
Possibly, like,
So, yeah.
even if it just takes your attention away from other factors. Like maybe you have your fertilization or like amount of water you give is not optimal, but you're not focusing on it because you're so focused on maybe the humidity is the problem why my grow isn't going well. But meanwhile, you just give a liter of water too much every time. So I'd say humidity is important, definitely, but as long as nothing is molding, then that is okay. That is fine.
Don't worry about it too much.
Exactly. And if you then want to optimize it or have like automation or like have a controller that like really figures something out, and you enjoy doing that stuff, then do it. Of course, enjoy it, but not if you're like, I'm still struggling to grow and I'm really having issues with my humidity. Then cut away like some leaves, because it's really important. If the leaves are like on top of each other, then there's no like air ventilation between the leaves. Cut away some leaves. That is fine. So no mold creation. That's the most important thing about humidity. Mold is not allowed, because that just fully destroys your product.
Yep. Do you have any strong feelings about defoliation strategies?
Do I have any strong feelings about it?
There's people that are on one side and they say, hey, I don't defoliate at all. I'm trying to optimize photosynthesis for my plant, and my plant needs a lot of leaves to be able to photosynthesize optimally. And there are people that go very heavy with defoliation, that defoliate on day 21 of flower, day 42 of flower, and they basically almost completely strip the plant in that time.
I'm doing the diplomatic way of saying the truth is probably somewhere in the middle, as it's always been and always is. But again, this comes back to the tip I gave at the very beginning. It's like, do whatever makes you happy. Do it the way it works for you.
Yeah.
And if you think defoliating is important because my genetic and my setup is, for some reason, it might not even be like your own fault or your own doing, but for some reason it's optimized that way because of parameters, because the light is intense, or like the light is really strong, or because it's warm, or because it's maybe cold, because it's in your cellar and there's no stuff like that. All of these things play into the grow, and if it works for you to defoliate or to not defoliate, then do it or not. I usually, now this is almost like parental advice, just try to not hate on people that do it a different way than you do.
Fair enough.
Goes to both teams, by the way. I'm not team A or team B. I just don't like people like from team A saying team B is bad, and because then team B is insulted and insults back.
Yeah, man. There's always multiple ways that lead to Rome, and especially when growing, there is just so many ways that you can do it, and you never know, like you say, also all the variables that somebody else is dealing with, indeed.
Yeah. It might just be different from plant to plant or to genetic to genetic. Like some
that is also a good
really
point, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Genetic differences are going to call for different approaches, and very leafy plants are going to need some defoliating potentially, especially if you have a lot of plants in the same space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, because we sell in our shop, we also sell some different genetics. There's some genetics in there that really you can do anything with them. They'll I don't know, you can probably throw them in your garden, and like 3 months later you'll have some form of plant giving you some form of yield. And then there's other genetics where you just sneeze in the wrong direction, they just die.
Yeah.
Where you're like, what did I do? I did nothing. So like, there's probably some plants that can really work well with defoliating because they don't need that much photosynthesis that late in the stage of their cycle, and others there's like you cut the wrong leaf and then your yield is just like you cut your leaf, the next day you watch and you yield minus 20% for some reason.
Fair enough.
So it's it's a very, very complicated topic, and it changes from situation to situation. So I'm not team A or team B. I just want to say, like, try not to get insulted by people that try to tell you differently. And also, if you're like one of the people that try to convince people of your opinion, try to make it like very calm, collected.
Yeah.
Because some people, they just don't want to hear advice, and others are really open to advice. That's something to take into consideration as well.
Yeah.
Just
yeah, and then you
keep it
get
calm.
back to what you said before. Also, do your own research, test it, maybe doing it, not doing it, same
Yeah.
genetics, and then you can
Exactly.
draw your own conclusions from that.
Exactly. So make your own experiences and do it however I'm going to sound like a broken record here. Do it the way you like it, because it's still a lot of work. I don't want to defoliate the plant like 3 times and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a lot
crazy
of work.
indeed.
And if I were to grow, because I don't grow, as I said, if I were to grow, I would probably grow in a way where it's really low effort, and then get some solid results out of it, which would probably include not to heavily defoliate. Just cut away leaves that like prevent airflow.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's probably the way I would grow.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That makes sense. Personally, I also feel like indeed I've been experimenting on both sides, but I feel like the plant needs to do photosynthesis, and to do photosynthesis at the most effective level, it's going to need a lot of leaves. So probably, from my viewpoint, stripping all the leaves is not going to be useful in most settings. But then again, if you have a lot of kind of big plants in a small space together, then if you don't defoliate, you're going to run into problems. So in the end, you need to make a choice depending on what your setup looks like and what works for you, probably. Yeah.
I mean, like another thing with defoliating, I'm guessing, is just stress, and stress can lead to, let's say, drastic effects. Sometimes you like the effects.
Good sides and bad sides.
Exactly. Sometimes you like the effects, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
But like, if you have the right genetics, or you know your genetics responds in that kind of way because you made your own experience and you documented them, then you know, if I defoliated like late and I cut basically all the leaves, and then my plant is fully in stress and it knows I need to reproduce and stuff, so it maybe puts some more effort into the fruit and stuff, into reproduction, can be a good result. But you need to figure that out, and maybe the different genetic just works fully in a different way. So yeah, it's just, again, make your own experiences and design the grow the way you want it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah.
So did you, in your time now working in this industry, did you have any like major screw-ups that you felt like you learned something from in the end?
There's been one major funny story, I guess. Funny who you ask. From this year's Mary Jane, where we went around with the Plagron filming crew and basically interviewed people that we found interesting. It's like, here's a 1-minute interview for social media or whatever. And we found one interesting guy who was really calm and chill, was a visitor, and he was sitting at a particular booth there. Just like, they had a chill out area. And then, because I basically don't work at Plagron, but like we had some cooperation together, and they needed some guy in front of the camera, so I put on a Plagron t-shirt. We went around the Mary Jane. I had a microphone in hand, and I just interviewed the people. So we sat down at this booth and had the 45-second interview. And then the guy working at that booth, so the representative of said company, came to us and was like, really, what the hell are you doing here? What do you think are you doing? Like, just leave, go away. And he even like pushed me off like the booth and stuff.
I have a feeling where this is going, but please continue.
Because we were filming said video. There was no, like, in the background, you couldn't see anything, but we were filming said video with said guy in the chill out area of a direct competitor to Plagron. And I didn't even think about it, because like I didn't work at Plagron at that time. I've never worked for a bigger company, so that wasn't even a thought in my brain that we were just filming a video for Plagron at a direct competitor's booth.
Man, they should have been happy. Their branding in the back of a playground.
No, you can
video,
see the branding. That's on. So
okay.
Maybe that would have calmed them down.
Maybe that was why he was mad.
Maybe. So we were like, it was a chill out area, like at the corner of the booth, and we were filming like across the hall. So there's the big wall where it says the company name. It wasn't there. So I'm sorry if I offended anyone. That wasn't my plan. It was just pure stupidity. Because again, I didn't work at Plagron, so it wasn't a thought I had that like I need to watch out, like what can we show, what can we not show and stuff. I just put on the Plagron t-shirt with a microphone in hand. It was like, how has your day been? How do you like Mary Jane stuff? And then when we're done, the guy comes up with like, what the are you doing? Leave, we're competitors, man. You can't do that. Just go, like leave now. Go.
That is hilarious, man.
Yeah. So again,
No,
I'm sorry. I didn't want to offend anyone. It's just pure stupidity from me.
Yeah,
To
it
find
can
the guy
happen,
there,
right?
and I didn't even notice.
No
I was
bad
like,
intentions.
yeah, like the first, I don't know, 10 seconds, the guy talked to me. It's like, what the hell are you doing? I was like,
Trying to process it.
what's going on?
What the hell am I trying to do?
I'm not trying anything, man. I just found this guy and made an interview. And I was like, slowly it clicked. It's like, where are we even? It's like, okay, that's that company. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Sorry. Fair enough.
That was like one, I guess, major mess up, fuck up.
And you're mentioning helping out Plagron at the expos. Can you tell a little bit more about how that happened, how that came to be, and like maybe how that came to be?
Yeah. So we at Growberg have a YouTube channel. Is how it all started, because that's how basically we do, let's say 99% of our marketing. We also have an Instagram page where I post an Instagram reel or picture once a year when there's a fair. But mostly we do it on YouTube. And at some point, I think 2 years ago, we were looking for sponsors. Just to like, again, get some money in the system, because we were we were still making like some amount of money enough to live off, but you always like to have more.
Of course.
So we were looking for sponsors, especially long-term sponsors. And at some point, a sales manager, account manager, whatever you want to call it, of Plagron came to our like store and just wanted to talk about like Plagron products. Do we already sell them and stuff? And we were like, yeah, we already sell them, but we are right now looking for sponsors on YouTube channel.
I see.
And then he went back to Plagron, figured everything out. And so, yeah, we essentially from that point onwards had a partnership with Plagron for now. I think it might even be 3 years. I think it might have been 2022. For a long time, like Plagron and us have been working together. We've showed how Plagron produces soil, so like substrates, especially soil. We showed that in a video, which was a great opportunity. We showed how they actually produce their fertilizer. So they showed us around the complex. I don't know where the direction is, but they showed us around the complex here and how they produce the fertilizer, which is very interesting. And from that point on, it basically developed like a partnership between the two companies. And at some point, I think Marcel even was like driving factor for that, asked if they wanted help on the Plagron stand in exchange for us having the opportunity to both go to Mary Jane at the fair and to represent Plagron, but also represent us, because that's like, for us, that's a win-win. I help at the Plagron stand, and in the other, on the other side, I can promote Growberg and help people out. And whenever they ask something, it's like, yeah, okay, good. I know
a good website.
Exactly. I mean, I had that conversation like multiple times. It's like, yeah, okay. People are trying to reinvent their grow, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So Plagron's great for like fertilizer, and you can use this and this and that. But do you also need something else? And if yes, here's my website. You can check it out as well. Ask me anything if you have any questions.
Perfect.
So that's how it came to be that Plagron and us basically worked together really closely. And then, somebody had the idea of me coming to the fairs, and now it's the third time I'm going to a fair, which is today. We're leaving to Canada Fair, right? And you'll be there as well, as far as I know.
Yeah, it's starting tomorrow. You'll see me there tomorrow again, yeah.
So yeah, tomorrow. So for you, like, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, whenever the editing is done.
If not longer, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I will have been at Canada Fair for Plagron. So yeah, that's how that came to be.
And looking back at the couple expos that you've done with us now, are there any funny moments that you can think of that jumped out where you had a good laugh, or any funny anecdotes, maybe something crazy that happened, something funny someone said, I don't know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all the Plagron employees that have been at the fair are fully sweating because there's so many stories I had with the people. Because no, it's
Spill the dirt. We want to know it all. That's where the views come.
Yeah, no, there's a couple of funny things, couple of things I can't tell here, because just to make sure, all the people working at Plagron are the people that were at the fair with me and stuff. They're all wonderful people, and they're great, and they're having a laugh, and they're really, really comfortable with each other, which is a funny thing. And not that I can say I've seen the other side, because I've never worked in like a big company, but also there's probably big companies out there that are really strict, and the people they come in with suits and stuff, and they don't talk about their private life because they're there to work. And if the manager sees that you're talking about like your wife and kids on work time, then you have a problem and stuff. And like with Plagron, it seems like all the people here are friends with each other and really comfortable with each other, and that shows in like after the fair, if you go have dinner and stuff, like the jokes that are made are like really, I don't want to say offensive, that's wrong, but like they're really intimate.
Yeah.
And like really between friends. And that's an interesting, and they really integrated me like from day one onwards. It's like, okay, Max, where are you going to eat? I was like, I don't know. You want to come with us? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm coming with them. So from day onwards with like the whole, like people that were there, the whole crew from Plagron, we went to eat and we had great times and we had a laugh. And like the one thing that sticks to my mind, I guess, is after the first Mary Jane, when that one was done on like Sunday evening, we were all like really stressed, dead and stuff. And so somebody they had like a big speaker, because Plagron always plays music on the outside area on the Mary Jane at least. They had like the really loud speakers, so we just put on music and we just chilled and danced and
that sounds really fun, yeah.
Drank non-alcoholic, of course. Just had a great time after, and like on the fair, and like the people that worked at the fair came like multiple times, like, yeah, okay, it's time to go, and we're like, no, here's our exhibitor pass. We're just here to party. So it's cleanup, and we were cleaning up with like while listening to hardstyle, like techno or anything. So
they wanted to get rid of you. That's why they came to ask, like, hey, it's time to go. Or
I mean, I think they thought that we are customers, or like we are like normal visitors.
They're not working. Something's going wrong here. No, that's usually at the end of Expo. Everybody tries to get out as quickly as possible, right? Yeah. Well, everybody, a lot of that's what you see.
I mean, we started the cleanup of the big Plagron stand, because especially on Mary Jane, like the outside area, Plagron already has the big with a lot of bean bags, chairs, areas to smoke, chill out areas, music and stuff.
Yeah.
This year they had the Alchemy Alley. So there's a whole lot of stuff to clean up. So usually what we do at the fair is we stay there, and then we start to clean up the stuff. I think at one time it started raining, so we had to get all the beanbags in, because if the beanbags are wet, they weigh like a ton each. So that's why we start the cleanup. But in the first Mary Jane, it was like, I don't know, 7 p.m. or whenever that one was done, we just put on music, had a couple of drinks, and like just partied and danced and laughed for like 2 hours, which was great.
That sounds really lovely indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do recognize it also, man, because the people watching probably don't know, but I've been here literally a week now. And from day one, I've also felt like very welcomed into the team. It's a young team. Everybody's cool with each other. It's a nice place to work for sure. I noticed that as well.
Yeah. And like there's so much humor and love and laughing matters between the people that work here, and it's great. And especially if you see how they talk to each other when they've known each other for like, I don't know, 5 years already, and they're so intimate with each other in terms of like the jokes that I make, the things that I say.
Yeah.
It's great to watch.
I can dig it. Cool.
Must be a great place to work here.
Yeah, maybe you'll find out at some point, man.
Yeah. You will definitely, I hope.
Definitely, we hope, yeah. Cool. So, dude, I think we're nearing an end here. One question that I would like to end it with is, any chance that you have a tip for growers really to elevate their grow and to get to a point where they can grow legendary?
I mean, I've said it a couple times already. It's like, make the grow the way you want it, optimize it for what you want, what you need. But if you were to ask me, what would I probably recommend to most of the people is get into automation. If that's something that you like to do, for me it is, and I think there's a big number of people that are slowly getting to that, or already are into that, like techiness, like trying to figure out how to work with stuff. I think that's really, really fun, and it takes off a lot of pressure and a lot of work from you if you figured out how to work it, because it automatically controls stuff like humidity, temperature, and stuff. If you get it set up once, you don't have to worry about it. You should still like look at the numbers if they're right, but if it works, then there's a lot of work off you.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I would recommend if somebody asked for my opinion is get into automation, both because it's fun and it takes a lot of work off you. But other than that, again, optimize the grow for yourself. Grow the way you want it, and don't let anybody else tell you how it's done correctly, because there's no way to do it correctly.
That does make a lot of sense, man.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I would like to thank everybody for watching this first podcast. I hope that was interesting for you guys, as it was interesting for me to get to know this guy. And let us know what you think about it. And Max, thank you very much for your time. And we're going to have a fun time at Canafair, I think, the coming couple days.
Mm-hmm. I hope so as well. Thank you very, very much for having me. It's been a pleasure. I hope I could fulfill your dreams with the first episode. I hope with something will happen out of it. Maybe there's like another 200 episodes to come, and then I can always say I've been the first.
Yeah, best get ready for it, man.
Thanks for the opportunity, and see you then.
Thank you very much, man. Cheers,
Peace.
bud.